When things get stressful, when things start to feel out of control, or you see your kids perhaps do something that you ask them not to do, or when your spouse does something that may make you angry or really upset, what do you do? What do you do? Do you react or do you respond? Do you immediately say or do something? Or do you take time to process, to capture your emotions and your thoughts? You know, honestly, for years, I reacted because that's what I saw my father do. And as a result of reacting in so many of those situations, I hurt some of the most important relationships in my life. But then about 10 years ago, a mentor of mine said, Buck, there's a big difference between reacting and responding. You see, when you react, you try to control. Reacting rarely gives you time to consider the context. Reacting is where most of your regrets come from. But responding creates margin and space to cool down or not say the things that'll lead to regrets. Responding gives you time to either invite God or your spouse or someone else into that situation that can actually give you some insight into what happened. And for me, I'm telling you, this has been a relational game changer. You know, just one example. The other day I came home from work and I saw all my tools all over the garage, and that was a big deal because the day before I'd asked my boys not to touch my tools without asking me because they keep losing them. And so instead of reacting like I typically would have, I walked into the house and I went into my room, and as I was sitting there just cooling down and trying to take my thoughts captive, Jill walks in and says, hey, I just wanted you to know that I told the boys to fix something and I told them to use your tools. And they even said, well, Dad told us to ask. And Jill said, it's just fine. Now, imagine if I would have reacted in that moment. If I had done what I'd done for so many years, it would have hurt perhaps one of the most important relationships in my life. You see, remembering to respond versus react is a relational game changer. It's where relationships can thrive. It's where, trust will flourish. It's what gives you time to capture your emotions versus react in your emotions. It gives us margin to consider our words, as words are so powerful. And responding gives us time to consider there may be more to the story. So next time you feel stressed, next time you feel things are out of control, or you see your kids or your spouse or your loved ones, or maybe somebody at work doing something other than what you expected, instead of reacting, take 5 minutes, walk into your room, walk into your office, walk into the living room, and maybe invite God into that situation or invite somebody else. Consider your emotions. Give yourself time to cool down. And once you've cooled down, then go out and respond to whatever it is you saw. And when you choose to respond versus react, it's what breathes life and health into some of your most important relationships. And that's what I so desire for you and for me.